There's something really discouraging about trying over and over again and watching nothing grow. This spot in my yard has been a problem for years. The soil was hard, packed down, full of roots, and no matter what I planted here, it never seemed to thrive. Honestly, this is my last attempt before giving up on this area completely. So before I planted a single thing, I had to start with the hardest part, which is clearing everything out. Every weed had to go. I dug through tangled roots, compact dirt, and years of overgrowth just trying to give this space a fresh start. As I worked, I found old bulbs buried under the ground that had survived all this time. Instead of throwing them away, I separated them out to reuse later. And that's one of my favorite things about gardening. Sometimes the garden gives you a second chance. Once the area was finally cleared, I started gathering plants. Some were new additions I bought specifically for this space, and others were plants I divided and transplanted from different parts of the yard. I wanted this area to feel layered and full of something that looked natural and peaceful, almost like it had always been there. Then came the planting, one hole at a time, slowly figuring out placement, spacing, and what each plant might look like once it matured. At this point, it still didn't look like much, just small plants and rough soil with a vision that only existed in my head, but gardening teaches patience better than most anything else. After everything was planted, I added one of the most important parts of this entire transformation: cardboard. I covered the ground to block the weeds from coming back, but over time the cardboard would also break down to feed the soil underneath. Then came the mulch. Layer by layer, the entire space started to transform. The mulch helped hold moisture in, protect the soil, and slowly rebuild the area that had struggled for years. I even added a small walkway bridge to tie everything together and make the space feel like a real garden, instead of just another flower bed. And finally, after all the planting, digging, dividing, mulching, and hoping, it was done. At least for 1 year, because the real magic didn't happen overnight. Season after season, root after root, as the soil began to heal itself. And now, 2 years later, this same area is almost unrecognizable. The plants that once struggled are thriving. Everything is fuller, healthier, and growing better than I ever imagined possible. What used to be hard, lifeless ground is now one of the most beautiful parts of the yard. And the crazy part is, all it really needed was one final chance. Sometimes a garden just needs time, and sometimes so does the soil beneath it.